here. Okay, so I am alive. And that may be a little bit brighter here than usual, but I am live. Um, okay. Can anybody going out of focus here for a little bit. Try to track me. But anyways, awesome. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while since I've been back here. Um, can anybody hear me? Is any viewers okay, hold on a second. Let me see, make sure I am on focus. Okay. Yeah, so I want to know if anybody can hear me. I'm testing out this microphone. It looks like it works on my end, but I want to see if you guys is if anybody can put it in the chat if it does work. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me, great. But yeah, we're gonna talk a lot about what's gonna be happening. Give me one sec. I want to know what's going on with my camera. Hold on. Try to make some adjustments here. Why is it going that way? Okay. Oh, it's still focusing. Okay, hold on a sec. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see if I can figure this out. Why is it going that way? Okay, let's see. What is it going out? Gotta focus. Okay. All right. Let's see if I go into focus. Okay. So I guess it is kind of tracking me. I'm gonna move forward here. Perfect. Okay. I think I'm good. Okay. I don't know what my camera is a little bit out of focus, but I think I just adjusted that. So all right, we are live. We are live. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Okay. So it looks like good on my end, on the microphone's end. Um, let's see. So we are live. We're gonna be talking about here the EOS R5 Mark II. There has been already on Canon rumors. The images have been out already, and they have been, specifications as well. So we have, both of those, and I'm just looking at my computer right now, which I am live, of course. And let's just see. And let's talk about that because it hasn't yet been launched. But although we already seeing what some of those specifications can do. I'm currently right now on Canon Rumors, so we're gonna go over some of these things while we're here. So let's see. Okay. So let's see if I can move this out of here. I don't think I can, or maybe it will let me. No. Oh yeah, it will. Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and put that in here. Okay, so this camera will be available in less than 1 hour. So in less than 1 hour, we will have the opportunity to pre-order this camera. I am considering on ordering this camera, but I'm not 100% sure yet because there's so many questions that I have in regards to it. So let's talk about the completely new design, right? So and talking about the 45 megapixel, the back illuminated sensor of this camera, and I believe that that will give it so much more dynamic range. It doesn't specify as how many stops of dynamic range, but uh, I've heard, or I don't know where I read this from, but there's about maybe around 16 stops, up to 16 stops of dynamic range. And don't quote me on that, but I know for sure it does specify that it will have C-Log 2 for sure. But what it's mostly interested about is the actual uh the it's like an I guess we'll know this, but there's a new EOS system that's on the uh it's like a cinema EOS system that's kind of like for video users primarily on this camera. I don't know if this is something new or is this something more friendly, I guess, because I used to own the EOS R5C, um, and of course, the EOS Cinema menu system. That's something different, of course, than what we normally get on mirrorless cameras, and it was just something that I needed to get used to. So, yeah, that's completely different, of course. But I'm very intrigued about this new system. So, want to see how how well it does. Definitely, it is confirmed that it will shoot 8K 60, so that's great. Uh, and then I also have questions about that, which I don't know yet. But when you think about 8K 60, uh, of course, on the R5C, you had to have like an external power bank enough to power that off, and be able to record at that rate, right, and that resolution. So now the EOS R5, you can record 8K all the way up to 30 frames per second. Now, this new one, this new camera has a new battery that is it's just similar to what I'm currently recording, which is the EOS R6 Mark II. So the LP6 and H, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but it's supposed to have a higher amps or milliamps, I guess. And so I'm curious about that. I'm curious if do you have to have a battery grip, right? Because there's a cooling grip that's also displayed on the website here for Canon Rumors, right? And that was mentioned as well. So I am curious about that. Do you, if you're going to record AK60, are you going to need that battery grip, or can it handle it with this new battery, right? With the LP, I think they call it something else. I'm not sure, but it's a different terminology that they use here. But it's a whole new battery. But it does also. Here's the cool thing about it. It does also fit on your current mirrorless camera. So if you have an EOS R5, R6, R6 Mark II, um, it does give it more power, right? Or I should say a little bit more of extension of recording time if you're doing video. So for me, that's always a plus. It's always a bonus, and it's always welcome. Because if you're introducing a new battery, it just makes sense that you can make it available and compatible with every other single camera that Canon has put out. So uh, that to me makes more sense. Let's see. So that is very interesting. I'm still going back and forth. Okay, so if it does AK60, can it do it under this new camera? I'm sorry, this new battery. Um, right? Without the grip, right? And if it can you imagine like yeah, that would be great. But then also, of course, it has to be a new battery, has to hold up more milliamps. Because currently I think the OEM one that is currently on the R6 Mark II, I think it's 2100. So I'm thinking I don't know if it's gonna be 2800 or 3000 milliamps. But I know if I were to put this on my EOS R6 Mark II, I think it will definitely extend the time. And I think that's going to be, of course, a little bit more better as far as recording times on my current mirrorless. I mean, battery alone, of course. But yeah, so we'll definitely see this. So yeah, so I'm curious about to see what it will do, right? What will happen here. All right. Let's see what else. So I used to own an EOS R5 in the past, and that's been quite a wonderful camera to have. So yeah, so let me just go over really quick what I currently how have owned in the past. So I used my first mirrorless was an R6 which I did a lot of tests on my channel. So, and the R6, of course, one of the major things when the R6 and the R5 was introduced was overheating, right? And so I did countless of tests. I did um, overheating tests, and these two cameras, of course, will overheat at that time of their launch. So, but of course, now after so many firmware updates, the R5 mainly does not overheat, as far as I know, in version 1. Since version 1.4.0. Um, so, but the R6 unfortunately still does, and and I own both cameras. Well, I used to own the both cameras. So, and for now, it has been the EOS R6 Mark II, which I'm currently filming on right now or doing this live. And there's just been so many new things that I always wanted in a new camera, right? Because we have the Sonys, right? And the world of Sonys, one of the things that I always admire about them and was they always had a full HDMI size. You can always put an external monitor without having to externally record on it. And so that for me was like, oh, why I can't do that on my EOS R6 Mark II. I wish I had something that I can external record to a monitor. I'm not talking about external recording like the Atomos Ninja. I'm just talking about if I can just view on my screen, I can tap and focus while it shows up on my external monitor as well. Um, but not anything but the Atomos. So that would be like, having two screens that you can manage there. Unfortunately, the EOS R6 Mark II does not have that functionality because it has of a micro HDMI, but obviously they can definitely pull out a firmware update on that and get that resolved. But of course they won't do that. So yeah, but the EOS R5 Mark II will have a full HDMI, full size HDMI. So I'm definitely happy for that. Um, so yeah, so that's definitely a plus. I also want to know, okay, I also want to know the low light capability on this camera, right? I mean, you're talking about 45 megapixel back illuminated stacked. So um, yeah, so I definitely want to know what the low light capabilities are of this camera. But I'm sure there will be other videos out there talking about it. Um, so that is something interesting. Okay, so here's the battery, right? That battery is going to be an LPE6P, right? So that is um very interesting, which I'm still curious to know how many milliamps that is. Let's see. So, raw video, you can also record 8K resolution. Obviously, we know that since the R5. Uh, and dual card slots, so CF Express and UHS-2, which obviously that's on the EOS R5. So, let's see what else. I'm just excited for this camera. Because I don't know. There's just something that finally, and I will say this finally, that Canon was able to produce something like this. So and let's see. I'm just don't mind me, but I'm just basically just going through all this real quick here. Okay, so let's see. All right. Okay, so that is going to be very interesting to know what actually will do as far as how easy it is to navigate this. I don't know if it's the new Cinema EOS, or is it the same one that we see on the R5C? So that's basically what I'm a little bit interested about, right? I want to see what this new menu system is like. And now, when you switch to photo and video, I want to know how fast that is. Is it as fast as the R6 Mark II? When I switch over to phone and video, it's just pure instantly. So I don't know if that's going to be the same case with this R5 Mark II. So we'll still need to find that out. Another thing which I think is very very important is on this new battery. Again, we don't know the milliamps, right? I don't know the milliamps, but if you find if you guys anybody watching this knows what those milliamps would be, that would be great. But my thing is, if with this new battery, how long can you record? How long can you record AK60? Excuse me. How long can you record AK60 on a single battery? How long can you record 4K 60 on a single battery, right? So that those for those that do wedding videos or you know weddings with like with EOS R6 Mark II, R5, um, that is one of the things that I would like to know. I do have a friend that has the FX3, and currently the FX3, he doesn't have to go through a lot of batteries. So, based on his experience, so he he switched over from Canon, but that's one of the things that I'm curious about, right? Do I have to buy a lot of batteries in order for me to to fulfill the needs of my jobs, right? As a wedding videographer or filmmaker, uh, I I love to record on the EOS R6 Mark II, and that goes about. It's not all the time like always on and always recording, but a single battery can last me from say about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and the EOS R5 when I had it about the same, and so I didn't have to go through a lot of batteries with that. So again, my friend's going through a lot of batteries with the FX3 or FX 30. Interesting enough. So I don't know how he's recording everything. Um, but I don't want to go through that phase with the R5C. If you recall the R5C, you have to go through a lot of batteries. So I hope that they fix that problem with this camera as well. Um, that would be that would be fantastic. That would be great. Let's see. So I have nobody in the chat. If you guys want to ask me any questions, please do so. Um, I know it's like what time is it? Sorry. It's 3:23 in the morning, and I have not had anything to wake me up right now, but I'm trying to like stay in focus. I'm excited about this camera though. So I will say that. So I'm excited. Um so I own, let me just say this. I own two R6 Mark IIs. So that I might just sell one. I probably will sell one of my R6 Mark IIs to cover, of course, the price that we're talking about here for the R5 Mark II. If you didn't know the price on this would be $4,299. That is the price. Now, I've heard comments where like, "Oh, the price is, it's overpriced." Uh, well, it depends on the performance of this camera, right? And for us, like for me specifically, I start to shoot a lot of C log or in log, basically. A log profile. All my weddings look amazing, and the dynamic range on my R6 Mark II is really, really good. So I like the R6 Mark II's log range. Um, but if C log 2 would give me that extra more stops, I'm all here for it. I'm definitely that, I welcome it. So okay, so far Sometimes you may have to check out Adorama or B&H, and they will have it way before the launch. But man, I am curious about that battery. There is no price. Okay, so I am streaming on another platform here. Someone asked about what's what do you know about the price of that grip? And I don't know the price of that grip. So I just know that the price, I think it's body alone, which I'm assuming that's what it is, at $4,299. So, but that's basically it. Um, I have no other further information about that. Um, um okay. So can there's nobody okay, so there's nobody let's see. Okay. If any okay, I would like to know if anybody can hear me. I know it's my mic is working, but anybody in the chat can chat and just let me know if it does work. That would be great if anybody could let me know. Oh, thanks, Paula. Appreciate that. That would be embarrassing to have just me like doing this and then not actually hearing my voice. It'd just be like, okay, that's a waste. um. Oh yeah. I think so. The EOS R1. That camera. Oh, I'm holding a lens here. Here's the other question, right? Does that mean so if we have the EOS R5 Mark II and you switch it to video mode and it just turns to this EOS cinema style menu, right? Which I don't know if it's a new menu or a friendlier menu or it's the same menu that we see in the R5C, but does the EOS R1 have the same menu? As far as I know, I don't know. Like, right? um, I just checking on other places here, but I it doesn't seem like it won't have it. I'll just have a normal EOS menu, EOS system. So not cinema as far as I know, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So I have no idea. I've been happy with the R6 Mark II for so many years now. So, and I know Canon's menu system is just so much better and so much easier um, to navigate and to go through. Let's see. All right, so let's find out here. What else can we think about the camera? I don't think for me for this camera okay, so I'm leaning towards pre-ordering this camera pretty soon. So once it launches around 4 a.m. or maybe earlier, because I'm refreshing Adorama right now, and sometimes it does come up like minutes before. Um, but I'm ready to purchase it, I think, and I'll definitely want to do some tests, sort of actual real world tests, because I want to compare that to my R6 Mark II that I'm currently filming in. So, um, yeah, that's what I want to do. But I want to see what else is going to happen here. This is it will have. I'm just going to read this off. Read this off from Canon Rumors. So they'll definitely also have waveform monitors and up to 24-bit 4-channel audio recording, which that's very interesting. But yeah, so that definitely is it's great. I obviously the R5 has 4K up to 120, and then so this one is definitely welcome as well, but with sound. So that's interesting. And that my R6 Mark II does not have 4K 120. It only has just 1080, right? Full HD at 120. So, but I'm starting to. when I film weddings, I'm starting to love the 120 frames per second. I mean, even though it's full HD, I do have Topaz AI, so I'm like, yeah, I just convert one clip into just convert that to 120, and but certain scenarios. But I think having it already in the camera, you know, it's always welcome. It also says the full HD is up to 240 frames per second. I've heard sources where they talk about like if it's 2K I mean at 240. So don't know if that's going to be a fact. Um, so we'll just have to see. But man, I am so curious on this battery, on this new battery. I really want to know, like, okay, how long can you record 8K 60 on this thing? Or hopefully you don't need a grip to record 8K 60. Like, how strong is this camera? But we'll find out. Um, yeah, if you guys are watching here in my live, are you planning to pre-order the R5 Mark II? Let me know in the chat if you're planning on doing that, because or do you just want to watch those reviews, right? Or you just want to see um other YouTubers, I guess, right? I don't have the camera myself, unfortunately, here, so man, um, yeah, that would be great to have something like that. Be like, well, I'll tell you. Well, I can't tell you if I had it though, but but I definitely would put something together to put a video together to do the comparisons. I love doing comparison videos, like between what I have now, the R6 Mark II, and I don't think I can compare it to any camera at the moment because I sold my R5, so but yeah. Yeah. So for me, I became and here's the reason why. And because I'm a wedding filmmaker and I film weddings and everything else like that. But here's the thing, the R5 Mark II has, if it has C-Log, I like to know, like C-Log 2, I'm talking specifically, what is the dynamic range? Compare that, and I know some of my friends have a C70, right? And so definitely you want to compare that dynamic range. And I know C70 is still, yeah, it looks outdated, right? But here we're talking about a full frame sensor with the R5 Mark II, obviously. So that would be very, very interesting. But low light capabilities is also so important. You have to have that low light capability. So, all right, let's see what we got here. I am can you talk? Okay, so let's see. I'm live. I'm just glad that people have said that my mic works. So, all right. So let's see. All right. So let's talk about here. I'm trying to refresh it. I thought I saw something here on Autorama just now. No, maybe. Or am I just seeing things here? Oh yeah, I'm seeing things. Okay. Again, I'm doing this at right now. Three, well, 3:33 in the AM. But now it's 3:34. But yeah. If you were to pre-order the camera, then the delivery would be, of course, sometime in August. It's what is expected to be shipped around sometime in August. I don't think they have delayed that, but I'm definitely trying to find out about like what is when it will be delivered. But that's just, yeah. We'll just have to see. Man, I hope somebody, and I'll tell you this, I hope somebody does tests on that new battery, because if they all talk about the specs, then yeah. So it's not gonna it's not gonna help. But okay, so I want somebody to talk about when they have this camera, I hope. I don't want to scroll through. I know, like me, I like to watch other like so many like Gerald Undone, right? There's so many other videos, but mostly Gerald Undone because he goes over really well and talks about really well about the dynamic range on those cameras. So any camera that he has, but I just hope that one of them talks about the battery, and hopefully someone talks about the dynamic range like Gerald. So hopefully Gerald can talk about that. Um, yeah. So those are only two things. And why is it okay? So like I said, I'm leaning towards pre-ordering this camera, and the reason being, and I'll tell you this, is again in the wedding filmmaking industry, it's important for me to have more dynamic range because my weddings are more like that. They're always shot in log, and so I need dynamic range in my in my films. Um, but that's not the only thing though. Battery life is very important. So I don't want to have to buy battery like the EOS R5C because I've been there. I used to own one, but I sold it because that's the problem. It basically ran into battery life, um, which it's a shame because or else I would have kept that camera, right? But hear me out. Here's the other question: Does this new battery, does the new battery that's coming out with the EOS R5 Mark II, I'm curious now to know how much more time it will give the R5C. So, but we'll just play it by ear. We'll see what happens. All right. So we are less than 30 minutes. We have less than 30 minutes, and then I'm pretty sure it'll go live, and then we'll see what they say here. I'm gonna watch a video, and I'll tell you guys what I think. Okay, so Canon. So if we go to like see Canon USA, let's see if I can have their. So if I go to their website, let's see. Okay, so they don't have it here, but they will go live. Okay, something big is coming. 22. So in 22 minutes, okay, 22 minutes, it's gonna come up. So and I'm going to talk about how I feel about it because after I watch the introduction, I'm going to see. I really want to see if something. Just reading the comments. I'm sorry. This is from the other live stream from Canon's. Like right now, it's just 21 minutes, but I want to see. I want to know. I have to know, man. Now there are rumors, obviously from Canon rumors, right? I've heard this too, but not sure yet. So the EOS R6 Mark III. Mark III is supposed to come out this year. So if it does, well, that is a camera that I will be might be interested in. So if those rumors are true about the EOS R6 Mark III, maybe I'll get that one too. Um, but I just don't know about the EOS system. I hope it. I mean, definitely, most likely, will that will definitely have a full HDMI because if now it has the R5 Mark II has a full HDMI thing, finally, no more micro. That really ruined everything. To be honest with you, for just when it comes to videoing and filmmaking. So because the only thing that you can actually externally record is through the Atomos, right? So most of my friends have used that. Um, but let's see. Okay, so now we are actually 20 minutes away. We are actually 20 minutes away. and I will be pre-ordering this. So, man, and believe me, I will be doing a lot of tests on it but once I have the R5 Mark II, I will be doing tests here in my house and outside, and so and I will do the comparison from the R5 Mark II to the EOS R6 Mark II, which I am currently recording at. I have two EOS R6 Mark IIs. The other one is actually stored away, but um, yeah. So that is very interesting. I love the specs. I love to see the pictures. The active cooling battery grip, man. I'm I am so curious. Does that cooling battery grip can it also help out the R6? Because the R6 still goes through overheating issues, right? Oh man. I am so curious about that. Okay, I see somebody else on the chat on my other on my other stream here, but he's asking like, "Hey, will the other would you think the grip is gonna cool off the R6? Not the R6 Mark II, that's just the R6." Well, I don't know. We'll just have to wait 18 more minutes, counting down. But man, so if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chats. What is it that if you are, let me just say, if you are pre-ordering this camera, what are you looking for in this camera in particular? What is it that piques the interest of on this camera? I think right now the R5. What is it currently? Let me see. Hold on one sec here. Okay. So right now, currently, I'm seeing that R5 on eBay for 28.99. I'm assuming that it's gonna stay for there for a while compared with how the market's going with these cameras. I know the R6 Mark II went from 24.99 to 19.99. So price wise, yeah, yeah. So it dropped $500, which I'm assuming when the R6 Mark III comes out, I'm assuming it's gonna go in probably maybe 16.99. That's just assuming. R5 Mark II comes out now. Don't know if it'll drop maybe more, maybe 25.99. I don't know, but the R5. But currently I'm looking on eBay right now and it's just 20 see for 28.99 brand new R5, not Mark II. Um, so but surprisingly, like the R5C, man, when that camera came out was like close to 4,000 bucks, just the body alone. And I remember that. I remember ordering that, but gladly I sold it for more than what it is now selling on eBay too, for a brand new for what is it, $2,829. So yeah, but I think definitely what Canon is doing on this segment is really good because now I mean, I honestly think they're late to the game, obviously, because Sony has been advancing with their with their video specs on their cameras. And I think it's time for Canon to definitely catch up. It's well overdue. I mean, imagine if the R6 Mark II that I'm currently filming in. Imagine if this camera had a full HDMI size, right? Uh, if I don't know if it had a C-Log 2, that would be impressive, right? That would be very very cool to have. Even though it does oversample that 4K, well, that yeah, that 4K into 6K. So it's like I'm sorry, it's a 6K resolution that's downsampled to a 4K timeline there. But I love the details. I love to see the little things. But I tried the R5 with the 8K 30. Man, it's you can punch it in 400% like in post, whether it's Final Cut or Premiere, and it just you can just see all the details. Um, It's wild when you actually film in 8K, but man, that does it eat up all that storage. So, I did that with the R5C and did that with the R5. So, I personally I personally did not wanna upgrade. I know somebody asked me this earlier, but I didn't yeah. I didn't wanna upgrade to the R3. I initially when I was like, "Man, the R3 sounds so great," because the battery life on the R3 is using the same battery that it's on the 1DX lineup. Um, and that battery can last you pretty long time. So, man, when the R3 came out, the R5C was just miserable with that battery life. Miserable. Oh man, compared that to the R3, R3 was just blowing that out of the water. So, but I hope this new battery that's going to be introduced, um, which again I go back to all the time, right? This new battery that's going to be introduced on the R5 Mark II. I am so curious on that life cycle, or basically the life that it will give the R5 Mark II. So curious. All right, guys, we're almost at 13 minutes to go for and launch starts. Um, and then I'll give you my thoughts and my reaction here. So, but yeah, but I guys, I gotta tell you this. I gotta pre-order this camera. I have to do it because that is I for me, well, obviously because here's the thing, right? When you think about $4,299, right? If that's the price that it's been said, that's a lot of money, right? But for me, it's more like, does this camera make me money? If it does, great. If it's a hobby, it's a lot of money for me to spend right now. But since I work for it and I work hard for it and I do weddings with it, then I will be able to afford it because I can pay it off over time, or I can just pay it off now. Um, yeah. So, and I currently own lenses. So many RF lenses now. All right, 12 more minutes. I'm gonna go grab a drink of water. I will be right back here. How do I? Let's not end this stream. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to, let's see here. If you're watching this and if you have any questions, please ask on the chat. Again, if you have questions, just let me know. It doesn't have to be particular about the R5 Mark II or the R1. It could be about the R6 Mark II, which I do own. So, and I've owned it for several years. Um, and I own the RF lineup lenses. I own the RF 70-200. I own the RF 24-70, and I own the RF 14-35 f4. Those three lenses just have given me so much. Let's see. Okay. I know this is a lot. I've been streaming for 43 minutes so far. So, but man, I just wanted to know. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes, and let's see what is gonna happen. I think honestly that the R5 Mark II, if the battery is great, right, and it can handle AK60, it would need to handle AK60 on this single battery. If it goes for over an hour, that's impressive. That will be impressive. Don't I don't expect it to go to 2 hours if you're gonna record AK60. I expect it to go at least and just a little bit over an hour. And if it can do that and the battery runs out, I get it because you are taking up so much milliamps out of that when you're recording that high frame rate at 60 and it's high resolution, which is at 8K. Um, But on the single battery, if it can do that, that'd be great because that's very hopeful that you on the battery grip, of course, you're gonna double that. So you're gonna record for like close to 2 hours of 8K 60 footage, which imagine how much storage that would take out of your camera. It's a lot. It's a lot of storage. So, and I don't think you can manage that. So, but your computer will, be thanking you for that later. So, um, yeah. So, still, how many more minutes? 10 more minutes. Where are we at? 9 more minutes. Okay, 9 more minutes. I am going clicking back and forth. I'm refreshing here on Adorama. Oh, that's not. Is that is that it? Oh, that's not it. Okay, so Adorama is still not having it up there yet. I'm constantly just refreshing here because I will put my order in. But I definitely want to see this launch. Okay. All right. Let's go. Come on. The R1 is expensive, I think. I don't think they disclosed the price, but they assumed the price of the R1. So, oops. Okay. So, let's see. Let's see how that goes. Whew. Man, oh man. What what a morning. What a morning. Okay. See if I can move this a little bit more forward. Here. Okay, there you go, my laptop. Now I have my laptop here on screen. Do I have my card ready? Yep. Yep, and 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 yep. See if I can put it right there. I have my card ready. It's my wallet, but I got my card ready just in case. Right. So it's a okay. We are actually 7 more minutes. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see. I know I've been talking a lot about my camera. I know you guys have been hearing about me talking about my camera. So let's find out and see where is it at. Okay, so I'm currently refreshing Adorama. I don't know, and then B&H. Either one of them will have it up really fast here. So for pre-orders. Again, this camera is expected to ship in August. So that is the timeline. Okay, nothing on B&H, nothing on Adorama. So far, those two have not showed up here quickly. But let's just let's just see. But if you have any questions so far about any cameras like R6 Mark II, R5, R5C, I mean, R, you know, any of the EOS R lineups, let me know in the the chat. So usually I say in the comments, but I'm live streaming, so guys, it's so I got up so early for this. I got up so early for this, but I have to I've been a Canon user since 20 was it 2019? Yeah. So 2019. So that's 5 years now. And my first camera I ever owned, that was Canon, is the Canon SL2. That's my first camera from Canon. Yeah. Hey, you know what? It can do 1080 60. So 1080 full frame at 60 frames per second. So hey man, 1080 at 60 and doing weddings. I mean, come on now. It was a crop sensor camera. So, but it was a crop sensor, but I got that nifty 50. Hey, this little guy stuck with me for the past 5 years. It has an adapter for the mirrorless cameras, but yeah. Anyways, uh, yeah, yes. So that's why I own two cameras, two R6 Mark IIs. So that's yes. So I do use it as my main camera. I was initially gonna do three R6 Mark IIs, basically because again I film weddings, so ceremony time, right? I want to have multiple angles, and it's just not just me. There's also my associate shooter or my second videographer, and so he would also bring cameras along for the ceremony. I love having different angles. I became in love with those kind of yeah um with that setup. So how much more time? Oh my goodness, 3 more minutes. Here we go. Oh, I'm excited. I'm watching this too, right? So if you guys are having two screens up for some reason, I have my monitor here, but I have to watch my laptop. So dun, dun, dun. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm again before it starts. So I have 5 more minutes to explain here. Or 3 more minutes. I'm sorry, 3 more minutes and it starts. But battery, battery. Oh, which channel? So I have two screens here. So I'm on YouTube. I just typed in Canon USA on the YouTube search bar, and I just click on. I went to their YouTube page and it's on there. So 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay, I'm refreshing here. I'm being Agent Autorama and I'm not seeing it yet. So okay, here we go. I will I will let you know. 2 more minutes. En español, 2 minutos más. I hope that my audio sounds really, really good because I started for live stream. I used to do a different mic, so I like doing this. I love the dynamics of this mic. If you want to know what this mic is, it's the PreSonus PD70, which, by the way, FYI, this mic is on. It's normally $100, but I think for Prime days or Prime deal days, it's like 70 something dollars. It's a it's a bargain. It's a bargain. So, oh my gosh, here we go. Everybody's commenting on the R1. Look at that. R1, R1. They all want the R1. I'm like, nope. I'm not a photographer mainly for my camera, so I'm mostly a videographer. So I mainly shoot video. So that's why, yeah, that's why I have it. Why the lens of Canons are so expensive? That's a really good question. I used to rent the lenses, not buy the lenses when I started off. So yeah, yeah, they are expensive. But I stopped renting the lenses after I know I could afford it. So that's yeah, yeah. So now I own my RF lenses, so I don't have to drive, pick up the rental, then drop it off back and drive back. So I don't have to drive back and forth all the time. All right, guys, premiere will begin shortly. Here we go. All right, let's see. I'm gonna turn up the volume here on my laptop. So let's see. Oh my goodness, here we go, guys. All right, let's see. Let's see if the R5 Mark II. I always say if the R5 Mark II can it really overcome the FX3? I mean, as far as dynamic range and battery performance, right? So okay, so we're about to find out now if the R5 Mark II had, which it doesn't, but if it had a micro HDMI, I think that would be bad. But That's just that would be really bad. Oh gosh. Cool, man. You're in India. That's awesome. Oh, here we go, guys. Man, this is some sleepy music they play all the time. I'm like, it's way too early for me. You guys, my eyes, I can't keep them open. I cannot keep it open. I'm going to sleep, guys. This music's gonna put me down to sleep again. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I'm ready. Oh, let's see if I let's see. Does it have it yet? I mean, I'm refreshing also Adorama and B&H. Oh, pre-orders. Okay, the pre-orders are alive. Pre-orders are live right now. Okay, they're already done. Yeah, 42.99 for the EOS R5 Mark II. Okay, 5,000. Oh, no, that's a different. Well, that's with the lens. The battery, the cooling battery grip. Is that the cooling battery grip? It is the cooling grip is at 399 for the Mark II, for the R5 Mark II. Yeah, okay. So R1 is $6,299. Okay, that's the price. Okay, perfect. Guys, here we go. One. Oh, it's somebody different here. R1 is gonna be at the Olympics, Paris. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, we're starting off with the R1. I That camera's gonna be a beast for photographers. And I'm sure for videographers too, but oh, I'm sure it's outstanding. What? I think she just said EOS Cinema on the R1. So we'll have a different menu, just like the R5 Mark II, I'm assuming. Huh. That's a that's a that's a low light beast. The R1's gonna be good grief. That thing is a beast. Okay, guys, placing my order. Oh, digit accelerator. All right. Just place my order, guys. So you want to place it now? Place it now. If you are interested. So I'm good. I'm good. Oh, so oh, that's interesting. This is some auto I forgot about that. Autofocus AI stuff. Crazy. There it is. She just said it. I this has to be on video as well. It has to be on the R5 Mark II on video. Come on. AI. AI, AF, AI. Yeah, that's yeah, viewfinder thing is on the R5 Mark II, so yes, it will be there. There you go. Jeez. I think that's cool. Like, I think that for brides, I mean, if you're doing wedding photography, that would be cool just to have the bride's photo as the main subject and not out of focus. So, cow. Oh, man. Man, I just I'm waiting for the R1 video specs here. Like, well, I guess we already know since it's in the kind of rumors, but I still wanna see. It's not bad. Okay. So they're just talking right now, but R1 photography. So crop file. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's interesting. Okay. That's that's interesting. I know everybody's wanting like, "Where's the R5?" R3. So the R1, they're calling it R3 Mark II, which that's oh my goodness. It's the R3 Mark II. Everybody, it's the R3 Mark II. Oh my gosh. What? Story Oh, here we go. Now they're talking. Now, okay, that's what I wanna hear. Let's talk about the video features on the R1. Let's go. Let's see what this okay, let's see what they're gonna talk about. Okay, 60. So 6K 60 RAW. 12-bit. Okay. All right. 6K RAW will take up so much storage. Well, okay. We proxy files. That's perfect. Mm. Everybody, 6K, meh. Whoopie doo. It's a full size HDMI. Come on. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. So our one's getting logged too. Yeah. See, this is why. So much better. Like log is just it's just another level. Man, see log two. Yep. Live zero patterns. Okay. So so the R1 is gonna have the same features as the R5 Mark II then. You can load pre-made LUTs? Nice. Okay, pre-record time. Hey, R6 Mark II can do that too. Yeah. Oh man, the comments, man. I love the comments. So that's interesting. Okay, so there's a the tally light's pretty cool. I like that. Finally. Yeah, the 24-bit. That's so cool. Man, imagine when 32-bit flow audio would come to a like a mirrorless camera. That would be so cool. Did you say quad type AF? Uh, of course not. Oh, here we go. 5 Mark II. Here we go, guys. Please talk about these features. I wanna see. Take it up to the next level. Let's go. Yep, we already know about the 45 megapixels. Mm, okay. 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 That was talked about. Yep. Okay. That was on the rumors. That was pretty accurate. No, it's it's all about the video. Okay. Okay. Pop. Bam. If that registration of priority people could be added to the video side of things, I think that would be pretty awesome. Dude, talk about the battery. That's what I wanna know. That's what I wanna know. Battery life. Alright. The cooling fan, man. I wonder if that oh, the oh, that's interesting. Yeah, finally. Oof. Okay, guys, this is what I'm interested in now. Okay, now let's get into the fun part. There we go. A few? No. Oh, okay. Mhm. Okay. That's really good. Okay. Ooh, AK30 on the external HDMI. Okay. Oh, up to 16 stops. You see, that's oh, okay, that's really interesting. I like that. I like that. Okay. Alright, so that's good. That's good. So photo and video at the same time. Okay. Whew. Okay. The front tally light. Yep. Mm. Yeah. Hey, they didn't. Oh, that's it. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's talk. They didn't talk about that battery, that new battery. Okay, they missed that. Like I want to, I wanted to talk about the new battery. Oh man, come on. All right. So okay. So now I'm gonna go. I want to go ahead and talk about just like what my expectations are because now I think I'm assuming everybody has now posted something about it. So I'm gonna see if okay. So now it's posted. Okay, so there you go. Now some people have posted. Guys, I'm gonna start watching this, but here's the thing with when it comes to the R5 Mark II. Okay, they didn't talk about the battery. Okay, so they didn't talk about like okay, can you do AK60 without the grip? Um, so they I don't know. There's a few things that I have questions about, but overall, I have made the pre-order for the R5 Mark II already, so I'm happy about that. Because I love that up to 16 stops of dynamic range, though. That's think about that, guys. It's just crazy to think like it on a camera they can even it's very future proof if you think about it, and definitely no record limit, which they could have easily done that too on the R5 on the firmware update. So, um, golly, man. Oh man. So yeah. So those are my thoughts. Thanks guys for sticking around for this live stream. I'm serious. Thank you for those that actually watch and put in your thoughts too. I will be letting you guys go because I'm actually going to start watching these other reviewers and see what I can find out about the battery stuff. But I will make another video of this, so stay tuned for that. And I want to thank you guys for staying tuned for my reaction. That was very interesting. All right, take care, guys.